paint wherever I am. That's, as I said, that's what I do. So Nantucket is where I am most of the time, and I love it here. And that's, I grew up with it, so I've got a certain affinity to it. I work all on location, and it's, I love to be outside. If I wasn't painting out there, I would be out there walking around or bicycling or just enjoying it. And so it's a great way for me to be out there. This painting here is in Sconset. It's Front Street, and it's part of a series that sort of came naturally this summer. It was foggy almost all summer, as anyone who was out here knows, and so I was trying to really capture the grayness of both the sky and the buildings, and also catch a little bit of that the funkiness of Sconset with all the leans and everything off at strange angles. This up Orange Street here was a painting I started early in the spring, and it definitely has the quietness of early spring, which you wouldn't know now that it's August in town. You would never believe that you could actually see all the way down the street. It's also a great spot because in early spring you can see right up Orange Street with the Unitarian Church. In summer, or about 2 weeks after I painted that, all the foliage comes out and the whole street is completely obliterated by foliage, so you cannot really get that perspective.
You chose to use red.
I chose, it was wet all spring, and that really intensifies the brick color.
Okay, go ahead.
This piece here is a diptych, and the idea was that I just couldn't fit the immense landscape onto one canvas. It seemed it needed to expand beyond what I was doing there, and it's always fun to work in terms of diptychs and triptychs because it lends a different thinking to your painting. You have to try to make each panel work on its own, and at the same time have them all pull together as one painting. These two are out in the Middle Moors, and it's almost unbelievable. It looks, again, surrealistic when you paint that, and then the reflections again in the pout ponds.
Did you really enjoy painting these?
Yeah, I really enjoyed painting these two. It's a great break to get out of town in summer and just not see anyone for a couple of hours, because even if you're on the beach now, it seems like it's a big parking lot out there, and you can go out into the middle and just be totally alone for hours on end. Mm-hmm. And it's a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
On a busy island.
Definitely.
Above here we have Sanctity at sunset, and this painting I did right after I came back from Italy. And I guess I was heavily influenced by the warmth of the sky in Italy. I must have exaggerated it just a little bit. Easy Street it must be one of the most painted places on the East Coast and photographed. And I've painted it numerous times, but this year I'm trying to catch the dusk. With the lights coming on, I found it amazing. I never really noticed it before. I'd always painted during the day, and you get some fantastic reflections in the water when the lights just go on, and there's an afterglow in the sky. This is an area of the island that is new for me to paint. I got myself a car that now is my movable studio, and it's four-wheel drive, so it takes me out to areas on Cotu, and this is Cascada, areas that I could never get to before.
Beautiful.
And I love the cedars as they grow up through the beach grass. They give a great sense of design that you can get because they're such bold shapes against the light, and they bring you right back through the landscape, receding in all directions.
Okay.
This is a large moorscape from the fall out at Sanford Farm. From there, in the fall, you usually catch a great cloudscape. This piece was from the top of Alta Rock, which is out again in the Middle Moors. And I painted it last fall. And in the fall, the colors become stronger as the red and greens juxtapose one another. And so you can you get a feeling of contrast of the distance that you're seeing across the rolling moors.
Is it sometimes hard to let go of some of these paintings when you become so...
It's hard to let go of them, but at the same time it's a great thing to let go of them, because if I had all the paintings that I'd ever done, I don't know how much I would paint, because you're sitting there with them surrounding you, and you feel that you've done this,
right.
And so it keeps you moving.
You're trying to attain in your work?
Well, for one thing, it's the beauty of Nantucket, and that's really important. I've had a couple people say to me, well, your skies are, I look up into the sky and I see your skies, and that's a very satisfying feeling, to have showed people a way to look at things and have them look at things differently because I have painted it. And for me, clouds are one of those things that I really love to paint, because they're constantly moving, and it's a gestural. You have to catch it in a couple of gestures. You don't have a lot of time to think about it. You just have to put it down.
Right.
And that's one of the things I like.
Well, Ilya, this was a fabulous experience. I learned a lot, and I want to thank you very much.
Thank you
for having us, and I look forward to seeing more and more work of yours.
Well, I hope to keep on working.
Great. Thanks a lot, Ilya.
Thanks.